Society has almost glorified the act of falling in love, the act of finding your person and living a happily ever after. That's the story that we've all been given. And it's been painted in a way that if it doesn't happen within this certain time frame, then you're not going to find it. Essential is at least that's how I see it. Um, so I've been traveling. I'm in Asia right now, and what I found out is the women here um, are basically told that when they hit 30, they have no like value essentially, and they're never going to find a man, or uh, and there's basically like a lot of pressure for them to get married like within a certain time frame. That should really be studied as you go through life now. Your lens is already jaded. It's already, cracked in a sense. And you're going to be seeing things from, a faulty point of view. Love isn't something that should be equated with a time frame, nor should it be something that's equated with uh, an external person or external things for that matter. Love is something that is all encompassing. It's something that is eternal. And when you have the internal, eternal flame of love burning within you, you will give off a heat that will attract someone else that is also burning that internal, eternal love within themselves. And that's just resonance. So the idea of, oh, this has to go like this, and if it's not, if I don't get married within this time frame, and like do away with all that. All of that is a societal, which you can really think of it as a trauma because it was more than likely impressed upon them by their parents. So most people only listen to their parents, or they do the exact opposite of what their parents are saying. Um, and so, with that being said, if you can embody that love within yourself and not look externally for these things and truly fall in love with yourself, that's what I'll say. If you can fall in love with yourself before everything else, then everything else becomes easier. It's not a rough road to go down now. You've already put in that work because loving yourself isn't easy. It's definitely easier said than done. It's a rocky path for some people because they've been told certain things or they've been shown certain things in their life or have gone through certain things in their life. And it just chips away at that flame of love. Like it chips away at it. It takes a little piece of the kindling that's holding everything together until eventually you're left with like a matchstick. Like you have that final match, and it's just burning for as long as it can. Uh, and then when it goes out, you probably give up, or you decide that I'm just gonna settle for whatever, for whoever. And it's not supposed to tell you um, to force yourself to find someone and do things like that. Like you can find love in yourself, and that process is beautiful. That process is one of awakening. That process is finding out you are a flower, you are a lotus flower, but you don't find that out all at once. Like you find out petal by petal. So, you start to see things that you've done in life or things that uh, have influenced you in life and see that those things aren't really you and you don't have no business like dealing with these influences. And you start to find that there's little things about you that you probably suppressed when you were younger or suppressed like just in life in general. And once you start finding these little things, it's like boop, pedal, boop, another pedal, boop, another pedal, another pedal. And then eventually it's just, it just opens up to this beautiful lotus flower. And that's what I want for everyone, for them to fall in love with themselves and fall in love with uh, their journey. Because it is a journey. It's going to be a lot, honestly. Uh, so much decluttering of the mind is going to have to take place. Like, if you really stop and think about all the different things that was said to you over the years or actions that people have done onto you over the years, like that stuff adds up. That stuff really adds up. And eventually you have so many things that have now become a habit because of things that were said to you, because things that were done to you. And it's not necessarily a good habit, or it's not necessarily a bad habit either. It's more so a learning experience of, it's like, oh, I do this because this happened. I strive for proving myself because I wasn't recognized growing up. You see, it's like there's always a cause and effect. And if you can see the cause and effect in everything, well, in you, you are everything. But if you can see that cause and effect, then you can start to subtract things. You're just slowly subtracting things until you're left with you. You've taken all the side dishes and all the condiments and toppings off, and now you're just a pizza. like, uh, and there's nothing wrong with plain. Like, you have to find that base. You have to find that foundation. And when you hit that foundation, or plain cheese pizza, you will then start to add your own toppings. Like, you start to try things out. Oh, no, I don't like anchovies. Let's try pineapple this time. Let's add pepperoni. You get the picture that I'm putting down. So let's try to find the love in ourselves. Let's put a pause on external love for a second. Let's try to build our foundation so that when that person that comes around, you now have a solid ground to keep your footing in said relationship, in said love story. But without that, a person might come around and you won't be ready. You won't be ready at that moment. And you can try to force it, but forcing things doesn't typically work out. Um, and that's okay, because honestly, there's going to be a multitude of the right persons to come through your life. And it's typically going to be with everyone that comes in your life. It's at the exact moment they were supposed to come into your life. So don't think like, oh, I need to go back to this person because it just makes the most sense, or whatever the case. There's going to be the right person at the right time every time. So you might hear that and think, well, this person came into my life and they were trash. It's like, well, maybe you needed trash at that moment to understand what trash is. So the next time you will have a higher sense of value for yourself, and you won't subject yourself to trash when it comes around. Because as we know throughout life, when the wind blows, it takes things with it. and trash is some things that get taken with the wind. So as we continue on our journey, there's going to be a lot of wind, a lot of turbulence, a lot of water thrown our way. There's going to be mud on the ground. There's going to be uh, bushels of flames, of fire, and all these different things. But we're not going to lose our way. We're not going to subject ourselves to things that aren't on our threshold of loving itself. Like that is the foundation you want for everyone in your life, not just relationships. You want everyone to love themselves to a certain degree so that they too then treat other people with love, so that they too uh, hold themselves to a certain standard, not external standard as far as like money or material things or things of that nature, but an internal standard, so that when disrespect is shown, they can then say, this is disrespectful. Like, this isn't how this is going to go in the future. You either act accordingly or, you split off and do your own thing. So, yeah, that's the end of and I hope you enjoyed it.